Hi, welcome back to part 2 of The Gift of the Magi. Jim stopped inside the door, not able to move like a setter sniffing or noticing the scent of a quail. His eyes were fixed upon Della, and there was an expression in them that she could not read, and it scared her very much. It was not anger, nor surprise, nor disapproval, nor horror, nor any of the feelings that she had been prepared for. He simply stared at her firmly with a weird expression on his face. Okay, so now he's come home and he's being compared to a setter dog that is noticing the scent of a quail, and he's just looking at his wife with this weird expression, noticing that her hair is cut. Della twisted and turned off the table and went for him. "Jim, darling," she cried, "don't look at me that way. I had my hair cut off and sold it because I couldn't have lived through Christmas without giving you a present. It'll grow out again. You won't mind, will you? I just had to do it. My hair grows awfully fast. Say Merry Christmas, Jim, and let's be happy. You don't know what a beautiful, nice gift I've got for you." "You've cut off your hair?" asked Jim, with great care and effort, as if he had not arrived at that clear fact yet, even after the hardest deep thinking. "Cut it off and sold it," said Della. "Don't you like me just as well, anyhow? I'm me without my hair, ain't I?" Jim looked about the room curiously. "You say your hair is gone?" he said, with an air of stupidity. So he's in disbelief right now. "You needn't look for it," said Della. "It's sold, I tell you, sold and gone too. It's Christmas Eve, boy. Be good to me, for it went for you. Maybe the hairs of my head were numbered," she went on, with sudden serious sweetness, "but nobody could ever count my love for you. Shall I put the pork chops on, Jim?" So here she's just saying that the hairs on my head are numbered, but my love for you cannot be counted at all. Like, my love for you is infinite. Out of his trance or daze, Jim seemed quickly to wake. He hugged his Della for 10 seconds. "Let us quietly draw our attention to some other thing, without much importance. $8 a week or $1 million a year. What's the difference? A math expert or clever humor would give you the wrong answer. The Magi, or 3 wise men, brought valuable gifts to baby Jesus. But that was not among them. This dark statement will be revealed or shared later on." So here the narrator is making a comparison and letting us know that later on we're going to find out more about this. And so he's comparing these 3 wise men, the Magi. He is comparing that to a math expert or some clever humor. Jim drew a package from his jacket pocket and threw it upon the table. "Don't make any mistake, Dell," he said, "about me. I don't think there's anything in the way of a haircut or a shave or a shampoo that could make me like my girl any less. But if you'll unwrap that package, you may see why you had me going a while at first." White, lively fingers tore at the string and paper, and then an extremely happy scream of joy, and then, what a shame, a quick feminine change to wildly emotional tears and cries, needing the immediate attention of all the comforting powers from her husband. So Della's opening this gift, and she's really excited and happy about it, and then all of a sudden her happiness is gone, and she has lots of tears, and her husband has to comfort her. For there lay the set of combs side and back that Della had worshipped long in a Broadway window. Beautiful combs, pure tortoiseshell, with jeweled rims, just the shade to wear in the beautiful hair that was now cut short. They were expensive combs, she knew, and her heart had badly wanted and wished over them, without the least hope of possession, and now they were hers. But the hair that should have decorated the jealously desired hair pieces were gone. So here she gets this wonderful gift, something that she has wanted for a long time, but she has no hair now. I mean, she has hair, but it's short, and so these clips aren't going to help her. And these clips were something that she's looked at in the store window, and she's really wanted these. But she hugged them to her chest, and at length she was able to look up with dim eyes and smile and say, "My hair grows so fast, Jim." And then Della leaped up like a little burned cat and cried, "Oh, oh!" Jim had not yet seen his beautiful present. She held it out to him eagerly upon her open palm. The very dearly loved metal seemed to flash with the reflection of her loving and loyal spirit. Isn't it a good thing to dress in a fancy way, Jim? I hunted all over town to find it. You'll have to look at the time 100 times a day now. Give me your watch. I want to see how it looks on it. Instead of obeying, Jim tumbled down on the couch and put his hands under the back of his head and smiled. Dell, he said, let's put our Christmas presents away and keep 'em a while. They're too nice to use right now. I sold the watch to get the money to buy your combs, and now suppose you put the pork chops on. So here, she bought him this watch, this watch chain, and now he doesn't have the watch because he got rid of it in order to get her the comb. So they both gave up what was very valuable to them. He gave up the watch, and she gave up her hair. So now he has a chain that without a watch to attach to it, and she has these beautiful clips, but she doesn't have the long hair. The Magi, or wise men, as you know, were wonderfully wise men who brought gifts to the babe Jesus in the manger. They invented the idea of giving Christmas presents. Being wise, their gifts were no doubt wise and carefully considered ones, possibly bearing the privilege of exchange in case of duplication or copies of something. And here I have lamely related to you the boring story of two foolish children in an apartment who most unwisely sacrificed or gave up for each other the greatest treasures of their house. But in a last word to the wise of these days, let it be said that all who give gifts, these two here were the wisest. Oh, of all who give and receive gifts, such as they are the wisest. Everywhere they are the wisest. They are the Magi. So here, Della and Jim are being compared to the wise men because the things that really mattered to them, the hair and the watch, they were willing to sacrifice that for their love because their love was stronger. And even though they're living in poverty, they realize that what really matters is the love that they have for one another. Thank you for listening.